The journey started basically from Kuala Lumpur airport, and I had a different kind of feeling that I can not really express here. Being a Pakistani visiting Bangladesh, it was a very different kind of experience. There are people who are traveling, there are Pakistani people who are traveling to Bangladesh quite frequently, mostly for work. But traveling to Bangladesh on Pakistani passport is a very much different thing. First of all, obtaining visa for Bangladesh is not an easy job, and you have to go through a lot of procedures and verifications. Even I applied visa in Bangladesh consulate in Hong Kong, and they still required some verification from Bangladesh, and once it was verified, only then they approved my visa. Anyway, these are the hurdles that a common Pakistani may face because of whatever happened in past between both the countries. That is a reality, and that's a harsh reality, and we have to move on, but that would still stay there. I already had a feeling of being in Bangladesh because I was all surrounded by the Bangladeshis on the airport. Well, the boarding was done. I was on the window side, and then next to me, after a while, an uncle, he had a family, and then person he was with his family, so he just sat next to me, and after a while he asked me if I am from Saudi Arabia, and I was like, no, and by that time I'm thinking, what should I respond to him? Well, because in the very beginning I got this experience of that someone is asking me. He asked me if I am from Saudi Arabia, and I said no, I am from Pakistan. And then he said, sorry? And then I said Pakistan, and he was like, his reaction was like, I mean, he didn't utter a word, and then he turned his face a bit on the 45-degree angle, and he never turned back to me on the entire journey. I'm not trying to judge him, but yeah, this was the first experience that I had on board. Well, when I arrived there, it was almost midnight, and I approached the immigration, and behind the immigration I can see already a person holding my name on a placard. And that was the person there to receive me. It was from the hotel that I booked, and he was there. So I just waved my hand and told him, okay, I'm here. So he was just there, and he was waiting for me. On the immigration officer was a lady, and when she saw my passport, she pointed a counter and she told me, okay, you go there, go to that counter because you need a police verification. Well, I went to that counter. There were a few policemen, around 3 or 4 maybe, and there were also some other people, but all of them were locals. None of them was foreigner. So I approached there. I hand over my passport to them, and very typical attitude of police in South Asian countries. They were very kind of slow responding and not even talking. He was just pointing me, okay, go there, stand there, or whatever. Like, he was not saying a word and just pointing me towards different places. Well, I was just standing, and then another policeman, he gave me a form. He told me, okay, you just fill up this form and then submit it there. I filled up the form. I gave my passport and the form. They input everything there. They registered it in some place, and then they asked me, okay, now you can proceed to the immigration. I returned back to the immigration. The immigration officer took my passport, and then she was again confused, and she was saying that because by the time I entered Bangladesh, that was last day of entry. I had to enter Bangladesh on that date according to my visa, otherwise I would be denied entry. So that was the last day, but still valid. So she was a bit confused, so I explained her it is still valid because this day is not yet over. She just stamped my passport, and then I crossed the immigration. After that, there I met my taxi driver, and he told me that another person approached me. He said, you also need to do some other kind of registration here, so please follow me. I went with him in his room. It was a small room. He was some official. He asked me several questions, but casually, like it was not formal interrogation, it was casual talking. He asked me what do I do in Hong Kong and how's everything and where I belong in Pakistan. He asked me about Imran Khan. And that was the very day when the elections were taking place in Pakistan, and election commission had already announced that Imran Khan has won the election. So that's why every other person was asking me about Imran Khan and the cricket. Well, it was a very interesting situation. I talked to them, and then he also asked me, he also asked me if I have a visiting card or business card. I told him, sorry, I don't have. So I don't remember if he asked me for the phone number, but then I left, and my taxi driver, he was with me, and also that official, he accompanied me, and I went to collect my luggage. They kept on talking about Pakistan and Bangladesh. One of them also said, Pakistanis are not very much welcome during whenever this government is in power, but when there is the government of BNP, the relations between Pakistan and Bangladesh are a bit better. So, well, he was expressing his own thoughts, and I had no say on that because I was not representing any political affiliation or anything. I was there for my own things, to visit the place which once belonged to me, to see the people who were once my people. So I already started feeling Bangladesh, and I was thinking about the past. Anyway, I collected my luggage,